Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Mercedes Lilienthal about her run to the Dakar Rally. Plus, Jeff has his Motor Minute, and I'll review the new Mazda CX-50. Just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Howdy along with Mike out of this world, Mars, coming to you live and in living color from Neaterville, Texas. Woo-hoo. And we always need more Jeff Zekin and Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday morning for our live show. If you are listening to a podcast, we invite you to join our live show. Get a leg up on all of the stuff that we talk about in the podcasts. So thanks so much for joining us today. And I think we're going to go to the great Northwest and join Mercedes Lilienthal, who is joining us now, hopefully, with information about her venture. Hi, honey.
There you go.
Hello, how are you?
Well, we're pretty good, thank you. Going to talk about the Dakar Rally. So where are you? Are you back up in the Northwest?
I am in the Pacific Northwest. I'm actually home right now, so that's a rarity, but yes, I am home.
Okay, good. I mean, where's Andy?
In the other room.
Oh, okay. Because this is all about you.
Yeah, this one's actually me. I feel like I have an empty space right here because he's always on the show with me. So, but I'm running solo this time with you guys.
So, well, it's good to see you, and we are really excited to hear about the Dakar Rally. So, first of all, let everybody know, if you will, what the Dakar Rally is.
Yeah, so the Dakar Rally is probably one of the biggest and most grueling desert rally raids in the world. It's been going on way back when. It started in 1978, I believe it was, as the Paris to Dakar Rally, or Paris to Dakar Rally that started in Paris and ended in Dakar, Senegal. Throughout those years, it had moved, continents. It had shifted, and now the last, I think since 2020, it was in Saudi Arabia. So there's multiple facets to the Dakar Rally. You've got multiple different vehicle classes with this big desert rally. It's all based on accuracy, so you have to follow a certain route. So you have a driver and a co-driver, and then you have the main Dakar Rally, which is basically the fastest and most efficient you can get to the finish line. And then underneath that, you have what is called the Dakar Classic, which is all the classic rigs, like the old Pajeros, the Land Rovers, you have it, all these different old vehicles. And they are an accuracy regularity where, like a time speed distance or TSD rally that we've been on the show talking about. They have to be perfectly on speed, on course, not late, not early, and they have a different route to follow. So the Dakar Classic runs under the actual Dakar Rally umbrella, so to speak.
I see. So, you're familiar with being on time and making your points and hitting certain time parameters and speed and all that stuff, because that's what you guys, huh?
Trying to.
Yeah, I mean that's what you guys have been doing here lately, and so, what did you drive?
I actually, this time, I didn't compete. That would be a huge bucket list. If I can get Andy and me to find a money tree or a large sponsor in a vehicle, we'd love to be able to run the Dakar Classic. I mean, we've got our Pajero sitting on the other side that did the Alcan 5000 sitting over there. We've got an old Jimny. We've got, vehicles that could do it. But, that's a huge, huge effort. What I did is I actually not competed. There's my competitor brain here. I actually covered the event. So I was on behalf of Jaguar Land Rover hosted, and I covered the 3 new Defender teams as they competed, as well as the whole Dakar Rally. So that was what I was over there for. I was there for about stage 2 and stage 3. So it was more of a brief period, but it was really interesting to see them in the flesh, on the ground, boots on the ground, actually rallying in full rally mode, see the vehicles back to the bivouac, get a tour of the bivouac and their huge entourage setup of all the semis with all the different parts and pieces, and meet some of the staff and some of the heads.
Well, now you've got a connection with Subaru. Have you talked to them about maybe sponsoring you and getting an entry over there?
Yeah, someday. You never know. You never know. We've partnered with Subaru for many, many different things. The latest being the Trans-America Trail, where we took a cross-track wilderness. We built it up, or they built it up under our direction, and we literally did over 7,000 miles across the United States. A lot of it was off pavement. So I think 3,184 miles of it during that 29-day adventure was off pavement, and we were self-supported, living out of the car.
But who's counting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's got, yeah. You know who the navigator is, right?
that's right. So tell us about this class that you were involved with, the Defender stock class. Explain that.
Yeah, so the stock class is kind of a revamped class that Defender was instrumental with the governing body, FIA or FIA, to basically update to say, okay, a lot of these vehicles way back when in 1978, 1982, what have you, were production vehicles because you didn't have all of the aftermarket ability, you didn't have all the technology, you didn't have all the stuff of what some of these vehicles can do today. And so they wanted to update a lot of the regulations to make it more friendly for manufacturers like Defender, like Toyota, and other future manufacturers to be able to come in and compete in a revamped stock class. So Jaguar Land Rover, of course, is the big umbrella. Then you have Defender underneath it. So Defender said, we're going to sign on for 3 years, right? The W2RC rally raids, starting with Dakar in 2026. That was the first one of their 3-year run that they're doing. So there's a lot more rallying to see with Defender coming up. So what they did is they basically said, okay, we're going to sign on. We're going to do 3 teams of very accomplished racers from all around the world. 2 Americans, actually, Sean Behrman and then also American Sarah Price were the 2 that were kind of rounding out the 6 people. But take all of that, figure out what vehicles that they wanted to actually build, again, adhering to the new and revamped regulations, test it all, come up with the parts, come up with how they're going to build it, what shocks are they going to use, what tires are they going to use, all this type of stuff. And mind you, they have to have all the support network around them with about 100, 120 different people as support and figure this all out. And I think it was less than 18 months. And oh yeah, you got to compete too. So there's a lot that was going on with it. There were semis upon semis that had things like, tools, tons of tools. My gosh, if I could have just a small section of that in my house, I'd just be a, woman in heaven. They had one with consumables. They had one with differential parts, with spare engines, with, all sorts of different parts and pieces. And when we got the tour, the guy had said, yeah, we could pretty much rebuild an entire D7XR rally rig if we need to. So as they were going through, when I was there, of course, they just started with stage 2 when I was boots on the ground there of the 13 total stages. And they were ironing some things out, like Stefan Peter Hansel and Micah Metke, that was the other team. They had some power steering issues. They were trying to figure that out. And then Sarah and Sean had really taken a big blow underneath their chassis. And so they had some issues there, and they were trying to iron that out and kind of strengthen things all within regulations. So but that happens with everybody, right? There's people that have different mechanical issues. There are people that have blown tires. I mean, these D7XR rally rigs, all 3 of them, they had 3 full-size spare tires, for instance, and a whole bunch of other parts and pieces.
So you've got all these all these big rigs and all these supplies and the trailers. So does this encampment move with the race every day?
Not necessarily every day. That's a really great question, because when I flew in, so we were visiting family from the Midwest. So I went from the Midwest, so Minneapolis to Dulles, to the East Coast, had a layover there, then went to Riyadh, and Riyadh to Alula. And Alula is more on the western side of Saudi Arabia. And that's where the bivouac was just getting set up, because I think they came from Yambu, don't quote me, for stage 2 and stage 3. So they were building that bivouac. So as the rally actually goes around the whole entire country, there are points where you might just be doing some sort of a loop and then ending back in Alula. You might be moving the whole entire entourage up to the next point all the way around the country until the finish.
Yeah, but if the race, I guess what I'm trying to visualize is if the racers leave early in the morning and they're going to point B at some point, let's say they're not coming back to that one, that whole small city's got to move in a day. Yeah. Because your repair people have got to be there. If something breaks, they got to be there or go to
But they're not doing 1,000 miles an hour either on the ground.
Right. So I think it's a few hundred kilometers that they do each day. Again, don't quote me, because this is my first actual being boots on the ground at Dakar. Right. Yeah. But they do have stages and days where they have a pit crew or they have a pit stop in the middle of the day. Sometimes they don't if it's a marathon stage. So there's a lot of moving parts. And that's something that I would love to learn more of, exactly how this all works. I mean, heck, if I had my way, I'd fly back there again for 10 minutes if I had a chance. But I'd love to be able to cover this event for the whole entire duration. I mean, it's about 2 weeks of like actual, hands-on total, balls of the wall rally. When you think about it, it's a crazy desert rally, but so intense and so it's such a storied, legendary event that's been going on for decades. And
Are there
to have the opportunity to
spectators?
cover it, spectators, you can watch it in parts online. There's not. I don't even know if anybody really knows where the course is. There may be opportunities if you can see, if you know where they are, to try to catch them in action. We had a chance to go out during stage 3 to see the defenders coming through 1, 2, 3, just super confidently all in one, where there was kind of a bivouac, a small little, bivouac side area set up. So I think that was maybe a known point, but it all fluctuates. I mean, when we were there for stage 3, there's a bit of uncertainty as to where the course was going to be, because the prince was coming in. And so there was, lockstep, police all over the place.
Security and things.
Security. And
Was he coming in to watch the rally?
I believe so. Yeah. They're very. So we didn't have a chance to see that, but when we were there, we saw the police at every exit and this, and then we got wind of. A couple people said the prince. One person said the king. I'm not sure. I didn't have a chance to see that part of it. But yeah, then they had to shift things, of course, just to be protective.
Did you sign any hero cards for him?
No.
And, with all that, the media attention and the police and everything, that happens when we do remotes.
Yeah,
we
it
do remote
turns into
broadcasts,
it
that's
turns
right.
into
a
just
nightmare.
We had to have police
so
all
we
around.
fully
us.
understand all that.
Yeah.
So
They're
they're
generally
really
giving us warrants.
Yeah, the warrants are the problem. So they're racing across the desert, so they don't really go through towns where the spectators would be. Is that right?
That's a really good question. I would think, since it is mainly the main part of the Dakar, mind you, is a speed event, accuracy, but speed as far as how fast you can go, and the fastest wins those certain stages. And then, of course, the fastest person per each class can win their class, and then so on and so forth. I couldn't imagine that they would be very close to cities. I know that we drove a little while to go outside of Alula during my time there. That's a really great question. I couldn't imagine, because you'd have populations, you've had, people with, just normal vehicles being out on course. I mean, when I was there, you saw people driving on the sidelines, very close to where they were, and people walking very close to where they were racing. And for me, as a photographer and a journalist, I always have my eye on where I can move, like where I can escape if somebody loses control. I mean, it's motorsports, right? People need to place their trust in these racers to make sure they're not going to go off course and then careen into, some common vehicle just driving on the side. So,
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll tell you what. Did Andy go with you?
No, he didn't. This is a solo trip for me.
Wow. Well, that's a rarity too.
Yeah, sometimes we do things differently. I mean, I just came back from Dakar, and then I went to Subaru, launched down in California. I was actually finishing my malaria medication, the preventative malaria medication, down in California, which is odd in itself. But then he went to Death Valley with Ford. So, we do shift from time to time.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, we've followed you guys for quite some time now, and things have really ballooned for you with your motorsports especially, and being involved in all of these different events that you guys go to. It's so much fun to live life through you. and you're such a great spokesperson. I can't imagine, that we'll be left in the dust when, today's broadcast by Mercedes Lilienthal is going to be sponsored by Mercedes-Benz of the world.
Yeah, well, you never know. World domination might not be that far away. All kidding aside, I think for us, and I speak for Andy as well, rally, like we do a lot of time speed distance rally by us, or TSD. That's what, it's more known over here, but over there they call it regularity rallies. I know different competitions call them enduros, but this accuracy thing, whether it's based on being on point for speed or the fastest, it's so electrifying. It's like, for us, when we compete, we're always media, right? So we compete, and then we also are media too. So we wear many hats, and we photograph things as well. But to be around like-minded gearheads, to be around all these really cool vehicles and such passion, and to be able to see new things and travel to new places, especially Saudi Arabia. It was my first time in the Middle East, and traveling solo as a woman across the world to do this. That's a whole nother, podcast in itself. But to me, it's such a neat and just wonderful experience every single time we do it. I just can't get enough of it. And to hopefully share that to the world and say, hey guys, yes, there's NASCAR. Yes, there's American football, but there's a whole nother world of really cool things that's called, TSD Rally or Dakar Rally and all of these that you need to pay attention. You need to see it because it's just so electrifying.
I just want to say, while you were gone, Andy throws great parties. He really does. That second day party, it was just
you were
incredible.
wondering about that trash can full of empty beer bottles. Well, now we know.
He knows how to entertain, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. He might have learned a thing or two from me. So
there is that. So what's next on your list?
Yeah, that's a great question. Speaking of rally, let's see, in July, Andy and I are going to be doing the car rally in Colorado, which is brand new rally. It's the Colorado Adventure Rally, which has since been doubled in size and still has a wait list. It's a time, speed, distance rally. I think it's going on for 3 or 4 days. And then Alcan somewhere for this year is going to be happening as well, but we are tight-lipped as to the vehicle or anybody that we're partnering with. Stay tuned on that.
So where is the Colorado event going to take place?
That starts near Denver. I can send you the link as far as where it is, but if you look up Colorado Adventure Rally, there's like a motorsports.com or .org website that has all the details. I don't know exactly where the loop it goes. I don't know that right off the top of my head.
Okay, well, we're going to look that up because, my youngest daughter is in Denver, so.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell her, and if she has the time, maybe she can hook up with you guys. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's this rally is going to be mostly on pavement, but there are some dirt sections. So I think it's under, I want to say maybe 600 or 700 miles in total. And of course, then hot on its heels, beginning of September, the Alcan 5000 is going to be massive. It is 11 days this time. It goes all the way up to the Arctic Ocean, which we've never been in the summer. And then it goes all the way back down, and it goes, of course, into Alaska, and then halfway up to the actually past the Arctic Circle up there to Coldfoot, back down. Again, that's all. If you do all of the extreme control optional routes, which we always do, because of course we test a vehicle, you got to test the vehicle. You got to
It's research. It's research.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the Alcan being the mother of all rallies over here in North America. I mean, yeah, if you're doing 1,000, 1,300 miles of dirt and gravel alone, I think this next rally, if you do everything, I want to say is about 6,300. 6,300 miles in 11 days. Think about that.
Gee whiz. That's awesome. Well,
that's why young people do it.
That's right, and they are. So let's stay in touch. And I guess with your next adventure coming up is going to be Colorado, you say?
Yes, I'm sure that there will be things in between, but
July.
Colorado, that rally is in July. Yes, in July.
Okay. Mercedes, it's great to talk to you. Great to see you. What a fun story, and thanks for sharing with us. We appreciate you.
Tell Andy we said hey.
Yeah.
Will do. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate being on the show.
Thank you. Talk to you again soon. All right.
Take care.
Just ahead, Jeff's Motor Minute and a review of the new Mazda CX-50 when the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this break. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In-Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In-Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In-Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. The live In Wheel Time car talk show every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. Check us out. It's free. And don't forget, 30-minute podcasts of our shows can be had from your favorite podcast store. Okay, time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
There you go. And we can be had. So I've been watching Barrett Jackson this past couple weeks. Yeah, at the end of January. And I just got to raise some questions in my head that what's the difference between the Barrett Jacksons of the world and the Mecum auctions of the world? Well, the two leading auction houses for classic car collectors, each with unique features and strength. So the differences are with Barrett Jackson, typically has no reserve auction format, meaning that the cars are sold without a minimum price, leading to a higher sell-through rate, more across the block, at about 98%. This creates a competitive bidding environment when buyers may pay more for desirable vehicles. On the Mecum side, they allow the sellers to set reserve pricing for their cars, which leads to a lower sell-through based, pretty much compared to Barrett Jackson, and it's a lot less. So the volume of cars, Mecum generally sells a larger amount of cars because of that. They sell about 1,811, significantly more than Barrett Jackson's 1,343. So the same period, same kind of auction types, but they're set up a little bit different. Types of vehicles, Barrett Jackson is known for its focus on high-end vehicles, particularly muscle cars, American classics, attracting more serious collectors looking for a unique and valuable car. Mecum offers a broader range of vehicles, including classic antiques, modern exotics, making it appear to be a wider audience. The Barrett Jackson holds fewer auctions each year, typically around 4 major events, including the well-known January event in Scottsdale. That's the one I previewed. Highlight for all the collectors kicking off the season. Mecum conducts auctions more frequently with events through roughly once a month, providing more opportunities for buyers and sellers to participate through the year. So overall, depending on what you're looking for in a classic car or an auction car, there's a lot of local auctions, but not these big boys. So check out what you're looking for, what you want to collect, if it's just a daily driver, how much money you have. Do you want to buy cheap and sell high? Whatever you want to do, they've got that auction for you.
I want to buy cheap.
There you go.
I want a lot for my money.
Okay.
Good luck, Don. You'll be waiting until Methuselah comes
Yeah,
up.
Methuselah. You can get that pretty cheap now. They've got a Methuselah model.
The Methuselah model.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the tires are flat, but it's okay.
It's a beater.
Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2026 Mazda CX-50. The available trim levels, I don't know what they are because I didn't write them down.
There's many. Just say many.
Great. This is what happens when I do this at work. And the fact of the matter is that I get interrupted a lot.
Because you're at work.
Yeah. So anyway, there are several additions. And I had the 2.5-liter turbo Meridian edition, which is new. This is a small SUV, seats 5, exterior changes from last year. Well, it was all new in 2023, so it is a relatively new version of the CX-50. Sharp-looking front fascia, nicely proportioned grille. Meridian edition has a huge flat roof rack on the top of it that looks kind of funny. It's also got a big sticker on the hood, says Meridian edition. Squinty rear tail lights and dual exhaust tips. Black plastic wheel trim. That's wheel well trim. What I liked about it, the overall body looks great on this. What could use improvement? Maybe perhaps tone down the disproportionate roof rack. I don't know, it just looks funny sitting up there. It's flat, and it kind of like you could tie down another car up there. Interior highlights, nicely designed, horizontal dash. Love the center console design with the radio volume knob right down there by the shifter. Comfortable seats, 2 rows, overall gets high marks. Cargo room, adequate for this small SUV. I liked pretty much everything. What could use improvement, as I said many times, the infotainment operating system needs a redesign. Engine, as the title suggested, it was a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with a twin-scroll turbo. Turns out 227 horsepower with 310 pound-feet of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It will tow up to 1 ton. Miles per gallon, rated 23 city, 29 highway for combined to 25. I got 22.2 miles per gallon over 500.0 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Great at.
Dot know anything. What I liked, This has got perfect power. It's just right for the size vehicle, the weight of the vehicle, and it runs well. What could use improvement? I would suggest that you check out the hybrid version. It's $4,000 more, but you get better gas mileage. Ride and handling. Standard all-wheel drive on all trim levels for this vehicle. What could use improvement? This is one of the best handling SUVs in its segment.
Wow.
And I would definitely want to check that out if you're into a semi-performance kind of thing. If you're a guy that likes the way his car handles, this is one I think that you would appreciate, because most SUVs are basically built for the road or for off-road.
Right.
And they got a squishy kind of chassis on it. This one does not.
Squishy.
Squishy.
I like that.
It's a very technical term. Let's see.
Hand me my squishy wrench.
Base trim price, $34,645. Prices tested, $44,675. The base model price, drum roll please, $29,900.
Oh, wow.
$29,900. So competitors on the base model price include the Honda CR-V for $30,920, the Toyota RAV4, $31,900, and the Nissan Rogue for $29,090. So I think it's one for you to look at.
There you go.
Next week, we're going to review the Lexus RX.
Okay.
It was going to be the NX, but some reason they pulled it and said, we're going to give you the
Do the
RX
R.
instead. I said, you can give me that RX any old time that
You
you
just go
want
right
to.
ahead.
Yeah, please do. I did want to get this in because I think it's important, at least for my generation. Ed Iskandarian died last week.
Oh.
He was born before the Great Depression. He's been around a long, long time. And if you're not familiar with him, he was also known as the Cam Father.
Oh.
It was while in high school in L.A. that Iskey built the famous black Model T Ford Roadster that would define the best of that class of art and engineering. He was a car guy through and through. Elegant, laughing skull radiator cap that cast himself in high school metal shop to the Maxi heads, Edelbrock triple manifold, and Vertex Magneto that are still on the car, and the car still survives today.
Wow.
Ed served in the Army Air Corps. It was said that Iskey cams could get more power out of almost any engine with no penalty. From his famous 5-cycle cams to the Ultra Rev kits with rollers, Iskey cams were the sought-after components for speed, horsepower, and torque, and still are to this day. Hot Rod noted that in addition to camshaft profiles, Iskey designed valve springs and first high-density chilled iron lifters for top fuel cars and anti-pump-up hydraulic lifters. Plus, he was among the first to sell cams, lifters, and springs as a matched set. The small block Chevy with one of Ed's cams was the first to make more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch. He was also a pioneer in marketing, starting with the famous white T-shirts that said Iskey Racing Cams in bright red letters. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yep.
Those were the hot commodity back in the day. And he even offered contingency money to racers who used his products. Don Prudhomme, one of the early beneficiaries of Iskey sponsorships, crediting the Cam father with helping get his career going on the drag strip. He also sponsored future racing greats Don Garlits and Mickey Thompson, among others. He was 104 years old when
Wow.
he passed this week.
Wow.
So
Very good.
she'll be missed. All right. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla. He's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.